What's up, dudes? Max here. It's been a few days since I've had a video go up. I'll have an update for you on that very soon, why that is, and it's very good news, so don't worry about it. But what I wanted to talk about right now is something that happened over the past day and is finally being discovered, which is kind of weird, and it's the latest update to Super Smash Bros. On 3DS. This is especially relevant right now because Smash Bros. Is just about a couple days away, and I'm kind of curious if these changes are going to be taking effect on the Wii U version, but regardless, let's talk about what's going on with Smash Bros. Right now and what that update actually did. The big thing is character adjustments and balance changes. This stuff kind of comes as no shock to anybody because Super Smash Bros. 3DS kind of had a little bit of wonkiness to it. There was kind of a lot of bugs, a lot of weird character glitches, and stuff that did seem like it would be nice if it was patched. The crazy thing about Smash Bros. Is that this is the first time in the history of this franchise that there's actually been an update patch for stuff, actually fixing glitches and issues. There was something, I believe, with Super Smash Bros. Melee where the game was released overseas, and there was some differences between the two versions, but in terms of them actually fixing stuff, like going in and, for example, balancing something like Meta Knight in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, that never happened. Now it can actually happen, and there was some pretty severe adjustments made to a majority of characters. Some small stuff, some pretty crazy stuff, and some stuff that you would not expect. If you guys want to see this stuff and what has actually been changed, you can go over to the Smashboards link, which is in the description below. It's on the forum, and they're still collecting all the data. They're still finding stuff out. And the reason they're having to find stuff out, which is probably the most disappointing, is that Nintendo is one of those companies that does not believe in patch notes. This is kind of a very Japanese mindset and mentality when it comes to patching games or making adjustments. They kind of want frame data and a lot of these little intricacies that come to fighting games to be figured out by the players and to have people just overall discover them through playing. And a lot of people that take a lot of that time to figure out, like, was this good on block? What frames does this take? Spend so much time digging into the game and kind of like counting those individual frames to figure out what exactly is going on. And since none of that's available in Smash Bros., you kind of just have to go about it and figure things out and compare it to the old versions. And that's exactly what's going on right now. These dudes are still trying to compare things to the previous 1.03 version of the game so they can find out what the heck is actually going on. But there's a couple of characters that we could probably talk about. I don't want to go over every single character's change, but there's a couple that are kind of like, really? You would do that? The first one's Little Mac, which is very funny because his jab combo damage got reduced by a slight amount, only 1% for each jab. And funny enough, for some reason, his distance for his aerial side B was dropped by about 10% and is a slower speed, making his recovery off of getting knocked off the stage even harder. Which is shocking as hell because Little Mac is kind of notoriously like a bad character from what I understand. He's not like, Terra bad, but he's just not amazing in comparison to the characters that are probably really good in Super Smash Bros. 3DS. Which is odd to think that why would they nerf this guy? Is there something that we didn't find out? Something along those lines. Another curious one and something in the opposite direction is Shulk, and Shulk is an obvious, very difficult to use character. He kind of has stances and things that change the way a lot of his attacks move and react. And he got almost nothing but buffs, like a lot of reduction of certain things involving lag behind moves. He recovers out of moves faster, and he kind of received buffs through everything, with damage increases on all of his tilts and smashes practically, and his jab combo damage was increased by 2% as well. I think for now it might be a really good time for me to go in and learn a character like Shulk, but because besides a character like Ike, I think Shulk might be the next sword character I really want to use. And speaking of Ike got almost nothing but buffs as well. His forward air startup is faster, his back air damage was increased slightly and it kills way quicker. His forward tilt and lag was like, he recovers way quicker off forward tilt, which is one of his best poking moves. And his jab combo now fully connects, like he got nothing but buffs. But at the same time, it's weird. There was some very small changes made to the majority of the cast. And like I said, you guys can check it out yourself. Greninja got hit pretty hard, like the things that Greninja can do. And there was some system stuff that you could do in terms of canceling and run canceling that they did change quite a bit. So Nintendo's kind of going crazy. Of course, you guys are probably asking, what'd they do to Mega Man? What did they do to Mega Man? Did they make him freaking amazing? Well, right now, the only thing that can kind of really be figured out is that his Leaf Shield recovers a little bit faster. It's that one move that everyone thought was useless for the longest time, and some guys actually found some use for it. Now it even is a little bit better once you use it as a projectile, which is nice. But Mega Man had some really funny stuff that he can actually cancel out of hit stun by doing the rush coil move, and he can literally bounce like several feet into the air above and away from where the damage was actually taking place, and that is now totally gone. So that's a slight nerf. It was kind of buggy in the original release of the game, so I'm not surprised that was removed, but they did technically nerf Mega Man and give him a small buff in another way. So, like I said, you can check out the entire list. There was some interesting bomb canceling stuff that made the characters that can actually throw their items, like Peach and the Lynx, really good, and they took that stuff out completely. But what we're seeing is Nintendo reacting fast, and what I kind of wanted to talk about to kind of summarize this up and what this all means is that this is the first opportunity Nintendo has had to actually and actively patch a Smash Brothers game, and we're getting a good example of this. A lot of veteran Smash players probably aren't used to stuff like this happening when Japanese developers kind of get their hands on games and go nuts. But in many situations before, and thank the heavens for some of the guys that are out there making, fighting games where they actually have the American side translate things for them, like the guys at Capcom. We get these full wonderful tutorials because the Street Fighter community there is really helpful in letting us know what is exactly changing. I hope this does change with Nintendo because they should honestly let us know. I think they're thinking that these changes are too intimidating for casual players, which is what everyone loves about, Smash Brothers games, and a lot of people love about Nintendo games. And when they see things like, canceling, remove it out of this thing, they have no idea what's going on, and it can be kind of intimidating. But at the same time, the more people know about your game, the better. I really don't believe in this, let's keep things hidden, let's keep things secret, and let you figure them out. I'd prefer that you let me know so I can have fun with it and try to figure it out myself, because if it just leads to more frustration that my character has been nerfed into the ground, I'm not going to have fun. That might actually entice me to probably stop playing a game in fear that you're going to do even more to my character. So regardless, a lot of these changes were kind of fluffy, and a lot of them were pretty severe to some characters, almost changing kind of a lot of what they do. But at the same time, we're waiting for the Wii U version, and we're desperately waiting to see if this stuff takes place in the Wii U version as it launches, or if it's going to be a day one patch or something like that. But as always, guys, stay tuned because Smash Bros. Wii U is just on the horizon. I'm going to be having that version of the game pretty damn soon, and I'm going to be doing tests for myself on the characters that I've played before to see if they've actually gone through the ringer and they do work, and do some comparisons between the 3DS version and the Wii U version to see exactly what's going on as I kind of compare up the 60 frames per second. As always, dudes, thank you a ton for watching. Thank you for hanging out. I'll be back pretty soon with more Smash Brothers videos, especially a review covering the online and netcode and how the overall performance is for the console version of the game. My name is Maximilian, and I'll see you guys next time.